So, you've got a camera and you want to make $1,000. Well, you've come to the right place. Today, I'm going to be going over 5 proven methods in which photographers can make $1,000 a month in as quick as a month, all depending upon your skill level. With that being said, you're going to want to go grab your popcorn, grab a notepad, whatever you need to go take some notes because you're going to learn a lot. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, Saal. I'll be talking about them a little later. So before I hop into the video, I want to give a little disclaimer. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, although depending upon your skill level, you can make a good amount of money pretty quick. I just want to let people know that isn't the same experience for everyone. You know, if you're just learning photography, this is going to take a little bit. There's a learning curve for everyone. And with that, let's get into the first thing. And that first thing to make $1,000 a month is portrait photography. I would call this the bread and butter of beginner photography, and a really easy way for people who don't know a ton about photography to go and make $1,000 or more a month. Everyone has friends, family, people in their area they can talk to. There's local businesses. Heck, I mean, tons of people in the online dating space need to update their photos. So there are definitely tons of clients out there that are available for you to talk with about getting portrait photography done. It's truly never been easier for someone who wants to learn photography or get good at it, make $1,000 a month, to do that. We live in the digital age where you can contact people within a matter of seconds just by using your phone. Not only that, you could pick up clients that way too. I mean, just thinking about the aspect of portrait photography, you could charge $50 to $300 a shoot. Then you pick up 4 to 20 or even more clients. And I mean, you are relatively quickly picking up on being able to make like, you know, $1,000 a month or even more. You could potentially turn that into a full long-term business, whatever it may be, whatever you're kind of looking to do there. That's kind of on you, but there's so many different ways you can network, connect with people in your area, or even in different areas to be able to make that $1,000. Let's say you're a little bit more introverted, so the first way might not work for you, which leads us to number 2, product photography, which in my opinion is my personal favorite, just because a lot of times whenever you're working with just backgrounds, you don't really have to communicate with a lot of people, just the person that, you know, needs the product photos. Although one drawback of this is you are going to need some upfront costs in your equipment. You'll need light setups. You'll need different like kit setups or different like sets that you'll need to set up. So you'll need to get random little knickknacks, whether it be from like Target, whether it be from like Michael's, some stores kind of along those lines, to get started up with product photography. But once you get this going, it could be a really easy way to make $1,000 or more a month. And a great way to start finding clients with this is through Facebook or Instagram. How you go about getting these clients, actually what I would do and what I have done is I just scroll through Facebook or Instagram until you start seeing sponsored posts from brands, from people who are trying to sell a product of some sort. Reach out to them, reach out to their team, DM them, send them an email, whatever is the more formal way. If you really want to deep dive into it, after you find them on Facebook or Instagram, you can actually go and try to find them on LinkedIn. And then on LinkedIn, you can look for certain people based off the role that they're in at the company. And you could just talk with them, try to start a conversation with them, see how you can really fill their needs. Don't try to shove your service down their throat. Be like, hey, you know, I seen that you guys are doing this. I was curious that if I could potentially, you know, help you guys fulfill that need that you guys have. Overall, you can find a lot of great gigs through photography on social media, which actually leads me to the third way you can make $1,000, which is being a social media photographer. Now, this way does take a bit more experience, and ironically enough, it actually also includes you have a bunch of skill with video, because a lot of the way social media platforms are currently heading towards, they all want video content. You look at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, heck, even Pinterest, an app that is photo-based. still does so great with videos, and it's an amazing way to grow and gain clients that way. One thing to note is it is pretty difficult to build on social media, but it's not impossible. It's a lot easier than it was 5, even 10 years ago to build a presence with photography on the internet. And being able to do that all within social media is just an amazing thing that you could potentially do. It does take a lot of consistency with your posting, with your video making, and it takes a lot of skills, but there are a lot of fruits when it comes to that. Once you've built up an audience of even 5,000 followers, I mean, you can start offering products, you can start offering one-on-one sessions with people who follow you. You can do your photography. You can offer it as like a, hey, you know, you need a photo shoot done. Or you can teach more people. You can offer prints. I mean, there's just so many things that you can offer that people will buy. People are constantly on the internet trying to purchase things, and it may not seem like it if you don't have much, but people will buy from you. One major tip I can give on this is to actually think a little bit of your end goal in mind, and also who you want to talk to. If your goal is just to make $1,000, ask yourself, how can I make $1,000? Then think about who you want as your ideal client and what your ideal niche is. Now, I know for a lot of people out there, there's so many different options. There's so many things to pick from. You're like, how do I just choose one thing? Well, honestly, the easiest part, or I should say even kind of the hardest part, is just choosing one. Make an account like with social media where you can just test like a bunch of different content styles. You can decide one day, oh, I want to try wedding themed stuff or marriage themed stuff. And then another day you can be like, you know what, I want to take pictures of flowers. Or then the next day you want to say astrophotography. You can just try a bunch of different things on your social media account and just test it and see a combination of what you like the most and then what performs the best. This is a really easy way to end up doing really well as a photographer on social media. And with that being said, before I hop into the next way you can make over $1,000 as a photographer, I want to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Saal Digital. They have such a cool product and service available to photographers out there. They have a free way that you can upload and share your photos with your clients. Just super cool, super seamless, and you can even set it up with things that your clients can purchase, like portraits, prints, canvases, heck, even mugs. I mean, they just have an array of different things that you can allow for your clients to take advantage of. Saal Digital has just so many cool things that you can do. You obviously can set the price on your own work. You can set passwords for every single project that you're working on that you're sending out to clients. You can send small little thumbnail previews so they're not just able to get the full image. One of my favorite parts of it is you can actually have watermarks on your photos, so that way people aren't able to infringe on your work. If that wasn't enough, with Saal Digital, you can create your own online portfolio to present your work to potential clients. You can completely personalize the site, make it any way you want to present your products. You can even add your own social media presence, so that way people are able to follow you anywhere. It's really the perfect tool for photographers who are trying to make more money. For example, with the portrait photographer I was talking about earlier, you can use Saal Digital to make retro photos, prints, canvases out of the photos that are taken so they can hang up in their house or so they can have it as a memory. This is a super easy way to turn a client who pays $100, $200, $300 into a $400, $500, even $600 paying customer. Those small little things that Saal Digital is able to help you out with are going to make making $1,000 a month that much easier for you. Really, there's just so many different ways you can use Saal Digital to go and try to make a little bit more money as a photographer. I recommend checking them out, saaldigital.com. As well, check out the link in the description of this video. And with that being said, let's hop back into it. The fourth way you can go about making $1,000 a month as a photographer is through real estate photography. Now, this one is really interesting because the way that people are interested in homes, they buy homes, they do research about homes, is all through their smartphone or their computer nowadays. I mean, depending upon your area, it might be a little bit different, but for the most part, it's all done through smartphone and their computer. So taking photos is the main way that they're getting an aspect and a view into what this home looks like. Real estate agents pay really good money to make sure that they have good photos for their properties. I mean, you can charge $100, $300, or even more for photo shoots depending upon what you're offering and what type of equipment you have. If you get like drones or you get 3D cameras, there's a lot of different equipment that you can get to make it so you can charge more. I bet someone who's really good at photography can actually just link up with one real estate agent. And that one real estate agent could probably make them over $1,000 in just 1 month. The last way I have to make $1,000 as a photographer is probably the most popular way you've ever heard. It's through wedding photography. Now, there are so many weddings that happen on a yearly basis. There's over 2 million weddings on average per year. And get this, I'm not super good at math, but that's about 130 to 160,000 weddings per year. And usually a wedding photographer makes at least $1,000 for that photo shoot. So if you're trying to make $1,000 a month, at least, do the math on it. You have to book one photo shoot. That's it. And a lot of times, photographers get on minimum like $3,000 for that photo shoot. So, I mean, you could book one photo shoot and that's like, that's like $3,000, $4,000. Obviously, you're deducting equipment and things along those lines when you get into the numbers. But once you already have that equipment all paid for and all purchased, that's an extremely easy way someone could go from making no money to making $1,000 a month if they have the capital to spend on all of that equipment. Now with these, it all just depends upon what you're most comfortable with and what you like the most. First thing, foremost, go just try a bunch of stuff. If you are beginner, you're intermediate level, maybe you know a little bit about it, just go try a bunch of different photography like niches, see what you like the most, and then dive deeper into that. I mean, you can go relatively quickly into making $500 or $1,000 a month. And then once you've hit that number, you can just dive even deeper. Maybe your next goal is $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, so on and so forth. And before you know it, you might actually be taking less time at your main job or even quitting your job and going all in on your photography business. And with that, that's been all the tips for this video. I appreciate all of you guys for staying this long in the video. If you haven't already done so, make sure to like and comment on the video. Let me know what you thought. Big shout out to Saal Digital for sponsoring the video. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. Appreciate you guys once again. Hopefully you guys like this a lot. With that, I mean, that's everything. I hope you guys gained some value, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.